everyone, and welcome to the very first self-love session. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Aksa and I am 19 years young, and I believe that now is a time more than ever for real compassionate connection. And I think by having more open and vulnerable conversations, this allows us to feel more connected. So if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching this video and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So it all started when I was 12. There was a lot of things going on in my household that led to confusion, which led to anxiety, which then led to depression. The signs were the picking of my skin from the top of my forehead all the way down to the bottom of my legs, where it looked like I had mosquito bites all over me. So I always felt like I had to cover up with makeup or long sleeves. And then from the skin picking, it went to the hair pulling, where I literally created two bald spots, one right on top of my head and another one near my forehead. And then it led to suicidal thoughts, which then led to suicidal attempts. I was sent to a mental hospital. I remember repeating the words, "I hate myself," with tears rolling down my eyes and feeling the depth of it, because I did. I hated who I was, how I looked like, how I sounded, what my life was like. I didn't even know who I was. I didn't even know who I was. And so because of that, I was surrounding myself with other miserable people. And at that age, kids can be super mean. And so on top of that, I was being bullied at school verbally. It just was the lowest and darkest phase of my life. And it happened at such a young age. Telling this part of my life isn't easy. You know, when we talk about the struggles of our past, it's not easy, especially not going back there. And no one really wants to go back there when you've made so much progress. So I shared that part of my life with you because it was dark, it was low, and it was sad. And I know that's something that not a lot of us get to see or hear on social media. A lot of the times we only want to show the good part, but I think it's so important now to acknowledge where you've come from and take a time to reflect and see, wow, I've done a pretty damn good job. It wasn't until I experienced my first love relationship where I felt this glimpse of joy again, of my bubbly side, of my upbeat, vivacious side again. I felt accepted and I felt love, even with all the scabs, the covering of the makeup. And I think that was very, very healing for me. And although that relationship ended the way that it did, I think it was absolutely necessary for me to be heartbroken from trying to hold it all together and hold myself and carry myself through life kind of just like this. For me to just be fully broken down, I think was absolutely necessary. And because of that, I took my very first step into self-love without actually knowing that it was self-love by opening up my first self-help book. Shout out to Who Says You Can't You Do by Daniel Chidiac. That book forever changed my life. And because of that book, I got a sense of who I was. I then began going to the gym. I then began taking care of my body and what I was putting into my body. And then I went through a period of solitude where I was so into the company of my own self and getting to know who I was, to then taking my very first leap of faith by flying all the way to California. One, I've never been on a plane before, never been to California before, and I got to meet my idol, Jay Shetty. He is an icon in the self-love industry, is what I'd like to say. He really helped me connect to myself and get to know myself even more. Then it got to a point where I could see myself in the reflection of the mirror with bare face, no makeup, and genuinely love the reflection staring back at me. Like I could see her. One, I could recognize who she was. And two, I could honestly say the words, "I love you," and feel the depth of that in my soul, in my body, in my being. And that, getting to that point, is like a revelation coming from self-hatred to this flourishing, enriching, and fulfilled self is like the best thing I could have ever done for myself. Being able to say, I love me unapologetically. I love all of me, all of my flaws, and I am not afraid to step out in the world boldly and confidently, and no matter how it looks like to them, I know where I am today, I know who I am today, and I know where I am going, and I know that I have a purpose to be here. My life matters, and so does yours. Self-love looks, feels, sounds, and tastes differently for all of us. But at the core of it, it's the feeling that we all share. That feeling of goodness, no matter what that looks like, tastes like, smells like, sounds like. It's that feeling. So with that being said, if you are ready to start loving yourself more, if you're ready to start feeling what progress feels like, hit like and subscribe, and even follow me on Instagram so that we can all start stepping into our authentic, most loved selves unapologetically together. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.